Yo, what is up, guys? Many of you know me as a super jacked dude that makes workout videos, but I'm also a mechanical engineer, and I grew up super skinny. A lot of people don't know that I didn't play sports growing up, okay? I was super skinny, super unskilled at sports, didn't really want to play sports, and then suddenly I decided to start working out and became this jacked specimen.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God, that thing is big.
So in this video, first, we're going to do a quick physique update, see what damage has been done during quarantine. It's not too bad, but we'll see. And number two, I really want to talk about why I started working out. A lot of people ask me this question, and I feel like it's a really integral part of who I am, and it's really important to my story. So I just want to share that with you guys. Well, this is the current physique. I'm going to put a before picture up on the screen to show exactly how much muscle mass I lost. I'm gonna be on about 2,700 calories a day, but basically almost purely keto. And I'm not gonna show you leg pictures because I basically haven't squatted in about like 3 or 4 months, so that's gonna be absolutely miserable to look at.
I lied.
Thought I'd include some leg pictures as well. So we can see here, well, so see the back shot as well. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, easily you can see the back. Here's this better, it's any better.
Let's go!
Like that, let me see. I can just cut it. So I think that should be it now, so. Anyway, you just saw my physique update. Basically, I haven't really had a gym routine for 4 months. Gym routine in 4 months, meaning that I haven't really actually been going to a real actual gym. I've been really basically just trying to make things work. You know, occasionally I have been able to go into a gym maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, but basically I actually have not had a solid routine since like March 12th or 13th, you know, and gyms in Seattle are still closed down. I think gyms in Seattle are gonna start opening up on July 7th or something, but anyway, that's really not the topic of today's video. Today's video, I'm gonna be talking about kind of a sensitive topic. I'm going to be talking about why I started lifting, and understanding and attaching an emotion to your why is super important in order to make progress. You know, if you really don't know why you're doing something, you're really not gonna apply yourself. And knowing your why is super important, because without knowing why you're doing something, you're not gonna do it. You have to have a certain emotion attached to your reason, because as human beings, although we're sometimes rational creatures, at the very end of the day, we're really driven by our baseline emotions and what we want. So coming back to my story, I really wanted, or I wouldn't say really wanted to, I need to kind of go back a little bit further. This is gonna be hard to talk about, but I grew up in a household where my father heavily abused alcohol and prescription drugs, all right? So he was kind of overweight. Sometimes when I was with him, I felt that he really wasn't there, okay? Sometimes I was in the car and he would, you know, he'd abuse drugs while, you know, driving, doing recreational activities, even at work, right? And he'd sometimes be slurring his speech. You know, it really terrified me. Basically, he was just not an ideal specimen. And growing up, I really wanted to be the exact opposite of what he was. He embodied everything that I didn't want to be in the future, you know? And growing up, a lot of these guys you see who make really great progress growing up, they, you know, had a base in sports. Maybe they were football players, lacrosse, what have you. You know, I didn't have any of that. Growing up, I ran cross country, and the last 2 years of high school, I played baseball. You know, I lettered in my final year only because I was a senior, right? I played because it was basically fun. I like throwing things. And basically, what really appealed to me the most was science. I like learning and figuring out how things work, you know, mechanically, chemically, you know, physically, right? I really excelled in chemistry, biology, math, graduated high school an AP scholar with distinction, right? Like being physical really wasn't my thing. But because I had this father, and I started to notice like parts of him like inside me, you know, like I started to feel some of the behavior, you know, I had, maybe in regards to sleep, maybe in regards to the way I behave. Like it's impossible to totally escape your parent's shadow or your parent's influence or whatnot. And I really wanted to separate myself as much as I could from this person who is, you know, little bit overweight, used drugs and whatnot. So I just did the exact opposite. What I started doing is I started going to our high school gym my final year of high school, like a final 3 or 4 months. You know, I decided that I wanted to, you know, physically apply myself. I was going to be disciplined, right? Physically disciplined, unlike my dad was. Because a lot of his problems, believe it or not, like he just didn't work out. A lot of his problems, he had a lot of heart issues. Like to date, he's had multiple heart attacks. I just didn't want to have any of that, you know? So I started working out like maybe twice a week, you know, like once or twice a week at my high school gym, and then at home in my mom's basement, I'd be doing pull-ups and push-ups, not push-ups, push-ups, you know? And basically the other reason I stuck to it, you know, because going from, you know, super skinny nerd to really jacked, that's like, there's gotta be a huge reason for that. You know, it just doesn't suddenly happen. You don't suddenly just, I mean, maybe you do, right? But there's usually a strong reason why you suddenly decide to really consistently stick with something. And what really did help me a lot was at the time in high school, I was struggling with some pretty bad health issues related to, it's definitely parts of those health issues related to things I experienced during, well, I'm not really gonna go into that, but basically I was depressed a lot. And when I was in the gym, I was able to get out of my head into my body. I was able to experience things, you know, the pain of experiencing my body. And that was really amazing for me, like being able to feel my whole body when I was working out. You know, it was one of the reasons I did like running cross country, you know, and the pain of that really woke me up and made me feel alive. I'm like, okay, like I decided right then and there, I was not gonna stop working out. Like no matter how hard it got, no matter how much I wanted to quit, I was not gonna work out, or I was not gonna stop working out. Like my first year of college, I combined weightlifting with my school. You know, I was taking all, you know, pre-engineering, a lot of pre-engineering classes, basically 4-0 both semesters. And part of that was due to the fact that I was really physically healthy, you know? And there's another reason I kind of wanted to list. There's another reason I kind of wanted to talk about this. Yeah, so my last reason on the list was I wanted to have more control of my environment. So growing up, I felt like I didn't have a lot of control, like over kind of what, I wouldn't say what half of me, like I never had any like sexual abuse, you know, but my family, you know, they had this saying like, spareth the rod, spoileth the child, right? I grew up really afraid of my father, you know, afraid of what other people could do to me, you know? So I really wanted to gain more control over my body and how I interact with people around me. And one way to gain that is by becoming more in shape. Like it's super empowering, like to be super skinny and basically exert minimal control of your environment, or to be super in shape. And if someone does have to mess with you, you have well, maybe you don't have the capability. It does take a certain amount of skill, hand-to-hand combat, right? But you do have that presence, you know, that empowered presence that really helps you not get picked on, you know? And being empowered in taking control of my environment was something that was absolutely critical to me feeling better about myself, you know? So anyway, yeah, I feel like a lot of guys lift just to get girls, and I'm not gonna exclude that factor. Obviously, when I was working out, I'm like, okay, like, obviously I do wanna attract an ideal mate, you know, or mate, that just sounds too scientific or whatever, too scientific. I do wanna attract, you know, cool girls, but that wasn't as big of a factor as trying to escape. I would say it wasn't as important as becoming someone who I wanted to be proud of. So yeah, I wanted to be someone that I would be proud of, you know? And that's one of the reasons, maybe you've watched some of my previous videos, but that's one of the reasons I have kind create your own destiny, be the hero of your story at the end of every one of my videos. You know, it's I'm just basically trying to say that no matter what has happened to you, no matter what you've been through, you can change, okay? You have the power of creating something beautiful. I feel like anyone can change their mental fate, you know? And part of my fate when I was younger, part of the thing I was most scared of was becoming, you know, my dad, you know? And I just didn't want that to happen, absolutely did not, you know? So my mantra basically was, I can be the hero of my own story. I can change what might actually happen to me, you know? And I believe, so far, I've been doing a pretty damn good job of doing that. You know, got my degree in mechanical engineering, worked my ass off, competed in bodybuilding shows during college, you know, did it all naturally, by the way. I keep on saying every single time I make a video, I'm gonna make a video on whether I've done steroids or not, you know, or, you know, steroids. By steroids, I mean, you know, pro hormones, SARMs, and all, you know, injectable anabolics. The answer is no. But yeah, what I basically wanted to say is that no matter where you are in life, no matter how fat you are, no matter what other people tell you, at the end of the day, what matters most is what you tell yourself. You know, like no one else can tell you who you are except you, you know, and that's something that I've had to teach myself for the past, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, right? And it's honestly been super tough, you know, like, but yeah, be true to who you are. And I think like this is about the end for this video. This is kind of late at night. I'm filming this right before I fly out to California. If you've stuck with me this far, I highly encourage you to leave a like, maybe leave a comment. Let me know what's your why for working out. Definitely leave a comment and let me know if you have any future video ideas. I honestly, all the comments, I take them seriously. For example, someone commented or sent me an email about how they want a video on tits for skinny guys. I made that video within 48 hours and posted and sent an email to that guy. So like I said, I am pretty responsive to people messaging me like that. So I think that's it. I hope today's video wasn't too like sensitive or deep. You know, I feel like most workout or fitness channels are pretty, you know, superficial. You know, they don't really dive into topics like this, but being the kind of, well, I wouldn't want to call myself super, I don't know, being the, you know, deep thinker that I am, I like to, you know the reasons why people do things, even myself. You know, I've been thinking about making this video for a while, right? So this is just me laying it all out for all my friends, family members, and supporters so far. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I'm just gonna sign off and stop talking, all right? Peace.